Greetings, everyone, wherever you are, and welcome to this Bim training. I'm Engineer Awa. Um, I just want to say every one of you that has taken the decision to actually undergo this training, you are actually doing something very good for yourself, for your professional life, as far as whatever you are doing is concerned, whether you are in this field as an architect, a student, or an engineer, or you're already working, or you own a company, or whatever domain you find yourself in the construction sector. This is a very good decision that you've taken. The world is changing, and we find ourselves in a very competitive field. The whole AEC field is a very competitive field, and what everybody is always looking at or looking for is something different, something new, something easier, something cheaper, something faster, better. And that is just the whole idea of building information modeling. Now, I'm just going to introduce myself and we'll dive straight into it. There's going to be room for questions at the end of the session. So if you have any questions as we are moving along, you will just be patient. At the end of the session, I'm going to open the forum and you can ask your questions. So I'm Engineer Awa Hilary, a civil and structural engineer, a building information modeling expert, and the CEO of Hilotech Construction. And I am going to be taking you through this course. So, what is BIM actually? What's BIM really? Well, BIM is building information modeling, and a lot of people, some of you might be in here that are familiar with this term. Some might be getting it, and it's new. But don't worry, I'm going to take time and I break this down using the different softwares that we are going to be going over so you can easily understand. Okay? And also for those of you who I see a lot of people have been texting that the time difference and also internet connection, there's no problem. Don't worry. A recording of this session is going to be provided at the end of this session so you can take your time and you go through it. So you're all welcome and let's dive straight into it. So BIM is building information modeling, and a lot of you are in here as architects, as engineers, whatever domain you find yourself. You can all bear with me that we have all moved from hand drawings, or we all moved from hand drawings to computer-aided design using softwares like Autocad, and other CAD softwares that are out there. I like to take the example of Autocad because that is by far the best. Um, Let me just be sharing my screen. That is by far the best CAD design software that we actually have out there. And this is the AutoCAD interface actually. So we moved from hand drawings to AutoCAD, and AutoCAD made things easier. Now it is able, you are able to actually easily draw your designs, bring out whatever design that you want to bring very fast. You can even duplicate and you create as many copies of them as possible without necessarily, worrying about maybe soiling the paper, all those kind of stuff. Yes, this is CAD. It made things easier. And of course, we can use AutoCAD to bring out architectural drawings like plans, that's blueprints, like the one that we are seeing in front of us here, a plan such as this. We can also bring out 3D, so we can bring out plans in two types, 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions. What is 2 dimension? 2 dimension means you can draw your plan in the X and the Y axis. That is why you see when you are looking at this plan, you are either seeing it this way or this way. Now, this is the Y axis, this is the X axis. That is what it means, a 2 dimension plan. Now, a 3 dimension plan is one that you can see in both X, Y, and Z. Now, I'm not going diving deep into that. I'm just trying to make you to easily understand that. So now we were using CAD on AutoCAD and everything was really moving smoothly, but there is a little problem. You see, a lot of people just come into AutoCAD and they just start drawing, maybe because they don't really have a very good training in it, and they just dive into it without any sense of direction. Now, This is something that even professionals struggle with. Yes, this is something that even professionals really struggle with. And you see that you come in AutoCAD, instead of using the software the right way that you are supposed to use it to bring out, because what kind of designs are we bringing out? We're bringing out drawings that have to be used for a project, what we call construction drawings. Okay. So what we are going to be going over the training is showing you how you can use AutoCAD to really bring out what is called what construction drawings, not just the normal drawings that anybody just takes AutoCAD, they open it and they just dive into it and they just start drawing without any sense of direction. No, bringing out construction drawings. What does that mean? It means that let's take an example. You see this drawing in front of us? Now this is just a sample drawing. Now if you look at this, what do you see? There's just a lot going on. Yeah, it's just so flashy and stuff. But this is a floor plan. This is a floor plan, which looks like a complete plan that has been done. So you can actually take this plan now, you go with it to your site or to the site, and you start working with it. Why? Because you have all the dimensions. Without such a plan, you can't even start a project now. Don't worry, the dimensions here are in imperial units, but we are going to be working with the metric units. When I say imperial units, feet and inches, that you can see. This is in imperial units, but we'll be working with metric units. So when you look at this plan, what do you see from this plan? You see, you can easily tell that this plan has a living room, a dining from the labeling, and all that. What else can you see? You can see dimensions. But what else? If you look closely again, what else do you see on this plan? You see there are certain points which have some stuffs attached to it. Like you can see here, it has a letter. There's another letter here, which is the same as this one. But coming here, we have this number. Do we have that same number again? No, we don't. So these are called tags. Now, what are tags? Tags are on plans to actually give you more in-depth detail of what this component is. First of all, looking at this plan, what is this? This here is the deck, or what they call the veranda or the porch, however you call it in your country where you're joining from, or in your own building design code and all. So this is the deck. Now from the deck, you leave, you come into the living room, and from the living room, you can come to the dining. Now, we have some two components here. We have this one, it has edge attached to it. So this is the tag, which is what? Edge. So now, why do we have these tags on the plan? The reason is because this architect is trying to bring out a construction drawing. He knows that the construction drawing does not just end at you just bringing out a drawing that has dimensions and all. No, it has to be in such a way that even the manufacturer of all these openings, because what we see here are openings. This is a window. This is a door. This is another kind of window with a kind of design. This is another door, which is a single shutter. This one is double. This another double one down here. You got all the windows, but these windows and all these openings, they are made of different materials. They have different sizes. They have different heights. They have all that. Now, for those of you who are really in the field, you're all going to agree with me that there are a lot of projects that they start them, and it is at the level maybe they've brought up the skeletal work that you now start seeing. They start saying, "Oh, okay, so what kind of window are we putting here now?" You now start taking measurements, and you go on before. No, it is not supposed to be like that. Bringing out a construction drawing means you're bringing out the plan, like you are building the structure in the plan. So by the time you are done with your plan, it has all the details that anybody that picks up that plan, whether it is the architect or the engineer on site or the client, is able to understand it. Even the people that are going to be doing what? Finishing. Let me take this plan again, for instance. Imagine that this plan has been done like this. We have this tag here, edge. Now, if we look around this plan, we don't see anything. We are like, oh, so what does this edge really, what is this edge talking about? But if we come under the floor plans here, you are going to see this is that same floor plan that we're looking at there. If we look below, what do you see? We have a window shadow. So this window shadow has a series of symbols. Now, all these symbols here, these are those tags. And if we were to scroll and go to where we have edge, we are going to see all the details of that component. We will see the quantity, we will see the type, we'll see the kind of finish that is going to be done there, and all that. We'll see the height, we'll see the width. Now, if the manufacturer of this window picks up this, he can just take this, go straight, and he doesn't even have to necessarily even come to the site to verify this, even though it is very important to still come and verify, but you get the point. So anybody doing this is able to understand. So why is this important? This is important because if you have all these details, even the builder that is putting up this structure, he is going to understand that, okay, when I come to this wall, I have to allow a window of this set distance. You have to look at this window very well. You see that everything from the frames to the finish and everything is there. A lot of people just come and they give the allowance, but you discover that maybe they just gave the width of the window. They didn't take into consideration little details like maybe the frame that is around the window and all, and that is more space. So what do you end up doing? Maybe you end up providing a smaller opening for a window that is not going to be able to give the accurate or appropriate ventilation that actually this building actually needed, and stuff like that. So, what are construction drawings? Construction drawing simply means you are building the project on the plan, and it takes very good sight and feel experience. So, if you are in here and you think that being an architect or being a designer means you are only sitting on the computer, no. A BIM expert is somebody who has a lot of site experience. It means if you have not been going to the site, you have to start going to the site, like a lot, okay? Because you are not a robot. You are not a robot. You are supposed to understand exactly what you are doing. You are not supposed to just be doing things because, okay, you come and you will be like, all right, the bedroom, what is the normal size of a bedroom for a bedroom window? Okay, I'll be speaking in centimeters, please. So maybe 150 centimeters, that's 1.5 meters by maybe 1 meter. No, you are not supposed to be thinking like that. Okay? You're not supposed to be thinking like that. You're supposed to know. And you have to know that with respect to whatever component you are dealing with, like the living room, nobody has to tell you that the size of the window that you put on the living room has to be the same size of the window that you put in the bedroom. Why? Because the living room is going to normally need more ventilation because it has more space. Same with the dining, the kitchen too. You got the bedrooms now, and all that. Now, I'm just trying to limit this. The same thing goes with the doors. The same thing goes with the walls. The same thing goes with the columns. The same thing goes with all the different components that are actually making up the structure. Make sure that you put in all those key details. Look at the staircase in this building. What do you notice here? Now, some architects will decide to put the height of the riser and the going on the staircase. But this architect has decided to put a tag. Why? He decided to put a tag, and there's another tag here which describes the railings that are going around the staircase. This architect is putting a tag here because he knows there is more information that he wants to put as far as this stair is concerned. Maybe the kind of finish. You can look at this staircase from the plan and you go and you do a concrete stair here, of which the architect or the designer actually wanted something more stylish, like maybe out of glass or wood, and stuff like that. But you go and cast it out of reinforced concrete, which is not what is needed there. But if you are intelligent enough, you are actually going to, please, if you come in, you just mute your mic, please. No, this is, please, if you are coming in, I don't even know why this should be open. You're all supposed to be muted. If you come in late, please just mute your mic. Okay. So, like I was saying, so now you see, this designer has decided to put a tag here instead. Why is this important? This designer instead wants to take his time and describe exactly how this staircase is. Now, if we were to go to this tag, you are going to see that it's going to contain all the information that this stair has, from the risers, which is the step that you take when you are going up a stair, when you're raising your leg, that is what is called a riser, to the going. The going is the part that you actually put your leg on. And the going has to be of appropriate size, so it is not too small or not too big. You actually, you know that. So he takes his time, he describes that. In addition, tells you the kind of material that has to be put here. Even on the railings, tells you the kind of material that has to put on the railings on a separate tag. You see this? Now, someone who knows how to interpret the plan very well picks up this plan, is going to understand this information and goes straight to those tags. Now, coming to, let's say, the kitchen. This is the kitchen setup. By the way, it is the open kitchen, the American standard of kitchen. You can see there is no wall that is separating the kitchen from the living room or the dining. So it's just the open kitchen, which is the American standard kind of kitchen, just open. And these designs are always done like this. So you have a whole living setup. So it doesn't mean like, anybody that is in the kitchen is cut out from the building, or the family and stuff like that. So if you're in the kitchen cooking, you can still be discussing with whoever is in here. So it's kind of a modern design, and stuff like that. And because this is a modern design, and such designs always have the stuff that takes out the maybe when you are cooking the smoke and all that stuff, the scents that comes out. That is why you see this window here is small, because really there is no need for a very big window here again, since to ventilate the kitchen, since that compartment is there. But you are supposed to actually make that known, because somebody picking up this plan to go and execute might not know that, and they go and they put this window here and they don't make provision for that, and it becomes a problem for ventilation. You get the point. Now you see there is another tag there. There is another tag here to this column that is close to the kitchen. So the point I just want you to note here actually is a construction drawing comes from, is not like it's something that is specific. It depends on you, but you have to know what you are doing. Okay. And what we are going to be going over as far as the whole program of the construction drawing is, we're going to be showing you how we take you from scratch to a professional, and you are going to be able to design your own drawings using your own system. What do I mean by your own system? I'm not supposed to do a plan, or Hilotech Construction is not supposed to do a plan, and you or another company, if you are the owner of a company or you are an architect, you do a plan and we look at it and it is the same. No, you have to have your own system of design. It can be that your units are different. It can be that your layers are different. Of course, the layers must always be different. What do I mean by layers? If you look at this plan very well, you are going to see that the windows have a different color from maybe the deck, from the walls and all that. You see all the furniture in the kitchen here, they have different colors. It's not just there for decoration. These are all different layers. Why is this important? This is important because if I want to like do something on this plan, I can easily hide all these other components. I create a copy of this and I unhide them back, and they're going to remain only on the parent copy. We're going to be seeing all that. We're also going to be seeing how you can also create title blocks for yourself. Now, if you look at this is what we call a title block. A lot of architects and a lot of professionals, they don't even work with a title block. They think that working in AutoCAD is just for you to come in here, you draw your plan in your model tab, because what we are currently in is the model tab. You bring out your plan here in the model tab, and that is it. Now, when you want to plot out your plan, what do? You come up here to plot, or you just press Control P and you go and you start plotting independently, one after the other. No, it's not supposed to be like that. We'll show you how you can bring out an appropriate title block for yourself. I'm going to share a sample assignment here from a past student. This is a past student, Gideon, and he's still a current student actually. He's currently he's done with AutoCAD. He's now in Revit, I think. So you see what he did. Now this is his title block. This is what is called a title block. Now, a title block has to be independent to each other. Now, he designed this title block for A3. So this is what he brings in all his plans on. What do you notice on this title block? It has the name of the plan, it has his Gmail, it has other construction details, which can be like notes that you put for security on the site. Then, of course, it also has his details here. It has been drawn by Gideon, it has been checked by Hilotech, and of course, approved by whatever regulatory body that you have in your council. Now, in your country. Now, in here, this is where you bring in the plans. Like, for instance, you see on the next page, now you see he starts bringing in his plans here. So by the time he prints out this plan, and it is very easy for you to print using the title block, it's going to come out with all these little bits of information. Do you see what he is doing here? I want you to take note of what he's doing here. This is just a simple, like very simple, just an open room kind of plan. But pay close attention to what he does. Now, you see this? You see, he's putting some numbers here on the windows. The door has a kind of number too. You don't really know what this means, but going up here, he creates a table and he calls this schedule. Now you see name, length, width, description, and total. Now, look at this. He comes here, he says W001. If you go on his schedule, you are going to see that W001 is, he gives under the description, he says, this is an angle shutter window, and there are three of them. So if a manufacturer was to pick this up, the manufacturer of these windows, he's just going to know exactly that, okay, the length has to be 1000 millimeters. This is in millimeters. He's designing in millimeters by 1300 millimeters, or 1 meter by 1.3 meters, or 100 centimeters by 130 centimeters. I'm just trying to cover all this so you understand that. So he just takes this directly and he goes straight and he's manufacturing. And of course, the builder or whoever is actually putting this up should make sure that they respect this dimension so that when these shutters are done and they come in, they can easily fit in here, as you can see. He does the same for the door. So if you look at his plan here, you see on his plan, he is not only printing out the floor plans, which is what a lot of people always do. He is printing out his floor plans. In addition, he has a schedule attached below. Now, on that schedule, he has all these little bits of description that are describing what is actually on the plan. You can easily see it on the schedule. This is an example of a simple construction drawing, but of course, it's going to differ with respect to whatever project you are working on. And this really brings out your professionalism. It shows that you really know what you are doing. Anybody looking at this plan can easily understand it. And actually, this is the right way of bringing out plans as far as construction drawings are concerned. Okay. So that is just a little example. What we are going to be looking at is, or what we're going to be, what you're going to be trained on is actually way more advanced than this, but this just gives you a little bit of an example of what a construction drawing is all about. It is just a drawing that really shows the exact details of what your plan is talking about. A drawing that communicates your design intent. It really puts out what you're trying to communicate or sell out there as far as the plan is concerned. So anybody can understand. You are not designing the plan for yourself. You are designing that plan to be built. And in the building team, you have to do the plan in such a way that everybody that is involved in the building team, from the client to the architect, which is you, to the engineer, to even the suppliers that are going to be supplying the materials, everybody should be able to understand that plan. Okay? And that is what it means to actually bring out a real construction plan, not just an architectural plan. Okay, so that is what we're going to be looking at as far as AutoCAD is concerned. And from there, we are now going to be moving into Revit. Now, Revit is the software that we are actually using to really bring out BIM, Building Information Modeling. Building Information Modeling is not a software, please. It is a procedure to achieve perfection. It is a procedure to make sure that when you are bringing out, by the time you are done with your design, it is 100% perfect. So that you are not bringing out designs, you are not just doing a design that at the end of the day, it is not executable. Or even it is executable at the end of the day, maybe you did not really accurately communicate the details of that design to the client, maybe in terms of cost or time, and stuff like that. The clients do not really understand that, and they run short of money. The project is abandoned. No, the BIM system takes all that into consideration, and you make sure that by the time you are bringing out your plan, it is 100% perfect. Okay? Now, we'll leave it here at AutoCAD. Let us move to Revit. And this is Revit right here. So Revit is the software that we are actually going to use to try to bring out BIM or to achieve BIM. Now, they are both Autodesk software. What do I mean by both Autodesk software? This is AutoCAD. AutoCAD was designed by Autodesk. You can see Autodesk AutoCAD. Revit is a software that was designed by Autodesk too. Of course, you can see Autodesk Revit. So the question now is, but why is it that Autodesk will do this software, Revit? It is because they have understood that there's a lot of problems in the field that really needs to be addressed. Okay? And that is why they brought out this software. So this software is here to solve those problems. And believe me, it is a software that if you master very well, you are going to bring out a plan that is 100% perfect. And I will do that. I will try to explain that by using this plan as an example. This is a current project that we're executing, going to be executing here in Cameroon. For those of you who are in Cameroon, this is actually going to be around Old Town. Yeah, around Old Town, just going up after the judiciary police and stuff like that. So this is a plan of this is a modern villa, which has a basement. This is Revit. Now, I want to show you something. Now, AutoCAD, with all what I've explained here, you can see that it sounds very juicy, right? But there is still a problem as far as AutoCAD is concerned. Don't misunderstand me or misquote me or something. AutoCAD is still a computer-aided design software, which means that everything that we are doing here is specific. What do I mean? If I want to draw my plan like this, I have to draw this plan. From this plan, I bring out these elevations. From these elevations, now I have to take it now, and I go after bringing out all the details, the sections, and all that. I need to take all that information now before I start working on my estimate and stuff. Now, just imagine that you were working on like a 5 or a 10-story building, and the client comes and he's like, "Oh no, I don't really like this window. I want you to change it." If you're already done with the plan, you have to start changing that from the plan. You go to your floor plan, you change it there. You start looking on your elevations. Okay, this window was here. You delete it, you draw it back. You do all those changes before you go to your sections, before you go to your estimates and stuff. It's just a lot of work. And there is room for error. There is serious room for error. So that is why we have Revit. Now, what is happening with Revit? Revit being a BIM software, the best BIM software, by the way. There are other BIM softwares out there, but Revit seriously is the best. Revit being a BIM software is there to solve all those problems. Now, what we are seeing here is the 3D or the three-dimension plan. If I was to open up the ground floor plan, this is it that we have here. This is the ground floor. Now, by the time I started drawing this ground floor plan, every other thing is coming out from my elevations to my sections to my roof to my three-dimension and most importantly, to my quantities and estimate. Imagine how many things that you're solving just by drawing this plan. And it is bringing all that with 100% accuracy, which means there is no room for error. Because what do you always do when you finish drawing your floor plan in order to bring out your estimates? You take the floor plan, you start, okay, how many doors are on this plan? You start counting. If you did not even bring out a plan in the um in the construction drawings way that I'm just from explaining here, it's even more tedious because you have to start counting. Okay, how many doors are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can miss one. Okay? How many windows? You start counting. Worst of all, surface areas. What is the surface area of this room? You come, you start measuring, you start. There is really room for error. The perimeter of the walls, you have to start measuring them. You measure this, you measure this, you measure, you measure, you measure. What if there's a change? You really think that after doing all that work, if the client comes and they do a change, you have to go back there and you redo those measurements. That is why you see they always assume. A lot of people just assume, and at the end of the day, maybe they can end up inflating the cost or bringing very little cost, present it to the client. At the end, they take that, they go to execute, you start having problems. Now with BIM, with Revit being a BIM software, all those problems are solved. As soon as I start drawing my plan, everything is coming into play. Now, this is a software that can be used not only by architects, but by engineers too. And I'm going to be coming to that shortly. So, look at this. Let me just tile this here. Okay. Now, you see, I've tiled this. I just opened different windows. This is my floor plan here, which is the floor plan that we're just from looking at. This is the front view. This is the floor plan, and this is the 3-dimension view. You can see that very clearly. And this is my door schedule that I have here. Okay, watch what is going to happen. Now, in the course of working, um, excuse me, just just 1 minute. Let me see. I see someone is complaining here that they can't hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just drop an emoji in the chat so I know you can hear. Anybody? I just need one person to confirm. If you can hear me, just drop an emoji in the chat, or you just type yes in the chat on Zoom so I can continue. Okay, thank you. I just need one person to confirm. That's perfect. All right. So please, if you can't hear me, maybe you just work on your microphone settings. That is not from my end. Okay, thanks for that confirmation. Now, if you look at this, here we have the floor plan, which I was just drawing, and my 3D is coming out. My elevations are coming out. My shadows are coming out. Now, imagine the client comes after I've done all this work, and he's like, I don't like this door. I want you to change this door on the whole plan. Now, I have to change this door on the floor plans. I will have to change on the 3-dimension. I'll have to change on the elevations and all that. But with a software like Revit, watch what happens. As soon as I click this door, what do you notice? I've selected this door. Just a minute. Let's flip this around. So I've selected this door in the elevation, but look at what is happening. It selects the same door in 3D. It selects the same door on the floor plan. Look at this. And you want to know the best part? It selects that same door on the estimate. So whether I'm changing this door on the estimate or I'm changing it here or here, it changes in the whole plan. And it adjusts everything. It adjusts even the cost and everything automatically. Did you imagine how much time you're saving or you're saving just by doing this? And there is no room for error, really. It's very smart. Even if I was to change this wall or just the size of this wall or even the type or anything, it changes all through the plan. Look at this. You see, I selected a wall. It is selecting here. It is selecting even on the floor plan. Everything is just linked up or connected together. So now that is just to give a tip of an iceberg of what BIM is. And you see, doing things like this now, it makes work not only easy, but it also makes work perfect. That is why you see with BIM, if you follow the procedure very well, there is no room for error. You are designing or you are bringing out a project with 100% accuracy. There's no room for error. And that is actually how it is supposed to be. There's actually supposed to be no room for error as far as designing and everything is concerned, because by the time you are done with the design and it is going to the field or the site to be executed, you don't have to go. I always say this. If you have any wall or any change to do on the plan or anything, change it on the plan. Don't go and start doing changes on the site. You do those changes on the plan. If you have a wall to break, you break the wall on the plan. You have a door to change, you have something to do those changes on the plan, and you keep on communicating with your client until you guys are okay. And after doing this now, you see, you can easily see how the cost is affected, and you explain this to your client. You'll be like, okay, now these are the implications. If we have to change this door to something else, it's gonna maybe take the cost to go up. It's going to maybe reduce the ventilation. It's going to do this. Are you okay with this? But it is your place as a professional to actually really explain to your client exactly what is actually really needed, okay? Or what is right as far as that is concerned. But you are able to actually bring the client and every other person that is also involved in the whole construction process to understand exactly what is going on. Now, that is just the tip of an iceberg of what BIM is all about. And then taking it actually a little further, which we are going to be coming back there, as far as the advanced courses are concerned. What everything I'm saying here still has to do just with the BIM course, okay? Now, like I've said, I mentioned before, it's a software that you can use not only for architecture, but for structural, for mechanical design, for plumbing design, for steel design, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, and all that. Why is that important? Of course, it's very important. Why? Now, you all know the problems that we always have on site. When an architect draws a plan as beautiful as this, and then the engineer is gonna come and he's gonna be like, after going through that plan, I'm seeing that we have to put like 3 or 4 columns or pillars in the living room. If not, the building is not gonna be structurally stable. Now, the architect from his own side is gonna be like, no, that's gonna destroy the aesthetics of the structure. There's always that back and forth argument, and stuff, which leads to what? Disagreements, leading to loss of time, loss of money, and all that. And maybe at the end of the day, they don't even agree, and there are serious problems. As a beam expert, you're supposed to know all that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this same structure that you're seeing here, after bringing out the architectural plan, we do the structural plan following this structure, this same structure, okay? And we are able to carry out our analysis and everything, and we are sure that this plan is 100% okay as far as the structural analysis is concerned. So, as a BIM expert, don't think your job only ends for the architectural part with all what I've explained here. No, you're not only drawing a building that looks beautiful, but you have to actually bring out a structure that is executable, that is strong as far as the strength is concerned. You understand? It is better for you to do changes in the plan that obstruct the aesthetics a bit, but it is structurally good, than to do something that looks good, but it's not structurally okay. We can all agree on that. But then there's another problem too. Again, as far as the architectural part is concerned. Imagine that you finish doing this plan. Yes, it's looking very beautiful. But then at the end, the interior designer comes in here and he's like, okay, this building is done. Now I want to do a setup in the kitchen here. By the way, this is a very big kitchen, but not all kitchens are like this. It's not all clients will give you the luxury of actually designing the structure to actually be this massive. But there are clients like this which don't have a problem with that. Now the interior designer is gonna be like, okay, now, what kind of components do you guys want to put in the kitchen? He might propose things that you did not even envisage on the plan. He's gonna be like, okay, maybe in the kitchen, I need more sophisticated things like I want a washing machine to be in the kitchen. I need a dishwasher. I need things like microwaves. I need all those stuffs. Or maybe you just need space for your refrigerator, which is just a small one, but they want a bigger one. All those kind of things. It brings problems. It brings serious problems. Even in the bathroom, for instance, just imagine getting into the bathroom, you design a little bathroom for the client or for the masters. Master, he comes and he's like, no, I want to have a separate wet area from the dry area. And of course, I want to have something like a bathtub, all those kind of things. These are the jobs on the interior. That is why you see, you can still end up bringing your plans, following these steps, but you still fail at the end. Why? Because there was no clear communication of all that. So, as a BIM expert, you're supposed to be in good talks with your clients so they accurately tell you exactly what they want to put in terms of furniture and stuff like that in the building at the end, and you make sure you incorporate all that in the design. Okay? It's very important. If you don't do that, you're still going to face serious problems at the end. So, in the course of doing, just imagine the amount of changes that you're going to be doing on this plan now. When you have all that knowledge, there's just going to be a lot. You get the point? But you are bringing out a perfect plan. So by the time you are done with this, even the interior designer coming, he is coming, or you have already, if you are not the one doing the interior design, if you are bringing an independent interior designer, make sure you are connected with them and they tell you exactly how they want the stuff to do. You incorporate that in your plan. It is your duty to do that. Don't think that just because you're an architect, I'm just gonna do my part, the other person is gonna come and do his own. No, it is your job. By the time that project does not go through well, you are going to be held responsible, or the blame is going to come for you. And in this field, what actually sells is recommendations. By the time you take your time and you do one project well, that is how you sell. That is what makes you to actually have recommendations, or one client can recommend you to another person because they're going to be like, no, go meet this person. This person is a really professional and he's going to solve your problem. You understand what I'm saying? So, even at the level of interior design, you still have a problem. Coming to electrical design, there's still another problem. Why is there a problem? Because now, you can still finish doing this. You know, architects always like bringing out electrical plans and stuff like that, but they're not always accurate because now the client can be like, he wants some kind of sophisticated kind of appliances in the structure, which you might not have really included in your initial design, and that will still cause problems, leading to breakages and stuff like that. So take time and you ask the client, what kind of structures what kind of components am I talking about here? Maybe even the interior designer coming here in the kitchen, he's like, okay, we want to make this really look beautiful. We'll add some LED light. We'll add some, maybe some ceiling, like all those kind of stuff to really make it look beautiful. But you, on your initial electrical plan that you produced, you did not make provision for those sockets. Maybe even going into the kitchen, you should not make provision if they add things like maybe dishwashers, washing machines, stuff like that. You did not make provisions for those connections. What do? It's a problem. You understand? So, even on the side of the plumbing, for plumbing design, there's still another issue there. Why? Because now, let me just remain here in the kitchen. Still in the kitchen, for instance, now the plumber, many plumbers, they always just do their plumbing, normal, local, cheap kind of plumbing that is just very local, normal. But the client looking at that will not understand. In his mind, he might be like, okay, he has certain components or certain things that he's aspiring to actually have at the end as far as the plumbing design, and stuff like that is concerned. But you did not put that. And at the end, he's gonna be like, okay, no, I need this component or I want this component. First, you did not provide a space for that. Secondly, you did not even provide the necessary connections. What do? You start breaking. So all those things you have to actually avoid them. That is why, in addition to the BIM course, we have other courses: electrical design, plumbing design, mechanical design, and of course, advanced structural analysis design. Okay? So the BIM course, in a nutshell, just gives you the methodology of everything. We cover like everything as far as all that is concerned. But then, if you want to really like um, be a real professional in each of these different departments, you go in for those advanced courses so that you know exactly what you're doing. But the truth is, as a BIM expert, you're supposed to have all that knowledge if you really want to bring out a good plan. Okay? And abstain yourself from bringing out all these plans that always cause problems. Because let me tell you all something. What sells in this field is not you bringing out 100 plans and they are full of trash. Bring out one plan, just one, okay? And it is executed perfectly. That's it. That's just it. Yes. Now, when you take your time and you bring out a good plan, following all the steps that we actually teach, you bring out a perfect plan. That's just it. That's how you see the recommendations they start coming in. Because the client is going to be like, no, go meet this person. This person is going to solve your problem. He knows what he's doing. That's seriously just it. You understand? All right. So when we're done with Revit, the next software that we're going to be looking at is we'll be looking at Lumion. Now, I'm sure some of you, this is the same project, by the way, the same project that we are just from looking at, but this is now in Lumion. And seriously, yeah, there is some ranging that you can do here in Revit, but no, it's not really that good as compared to Lumion. So in Lumion here, what we're actually going to be looking at now is how you can, this is that same project, you import it in here into Lumion, and you really make it to really look realistic, as you can see. I think anybody looking at this can really understand what the project. So you can do this, you create a very good walkthrough. You can see the garage here. There, we've not yet done the interior design for this project. It's just the exterior. As you can see, this is the basement. So you can do this and then you have a good view, to walk around. So this project actually has this basement. You turn this way, you go up here a little bit, and then you have the ground floor. You can see the stair going down there, and stuff. So coming in here into Lumion is for you to bring in this and you make it to really look as realistic as possible. Like you simulate it to look like the finished product. Okay. Yes, to look like the finished product. So when you're done from here, you can now bring out your pictures and videos, like render very high resolution looking pictures and videos after applying your materials, putting in all the landscaping, like you can see the trees, you can see the weather, you play around with the sun, all those kind of stuff, you bring in some components, and stuff. We teach you how to do all that. And then, yeah, you bring out your pictures and your videos looking very real and very realistic like this. And then from there, now you move into Camtesia, which is this. This is still the same project. This is the video that was rendered out of the project. You can see how realistic the video is. So this is the same project that was rendered out. And this is actually how the project is going to be looking like when it is finished. So before arriving at this level, you can, from what I've been explaining, we've actually incorporated all those different techniques, and this is the final product, making sure that everybody is on board, from the designers, which is us, to the engineers, to the client, to everybody. They are on board and they are okay, and everything here is good, and everything as far as the ventilation, everything has been respected and everything is good. So you come into Camtasia now, it's a post-production software, and you come in here mostly to bring out a video and to present your project. Because now when you render this out of Lumion, imagine you just send a blank video like this. What is it talking about? The whole idea is for you to really bring out the design intent, like to really communicate what the design is talking about. And you cannot really do that if you're just sending blank. So Camtasia now is going to help you to be able to put in all those key details. Like you can see, I can just start putting in here. I can start bringing in some text, and stuff. And I'm typing and I'm like, okay, this is a modern villa. And this is this. At this level, we have this. At this level, we have this. At this level, we have this. Give a very good description. Add some effects to it to really look stylish, and stuff like that. Maybe add a little bit of sound or music to it. You can even do a voice recording, like you can see as I'm speaking. You see as the volume is going there. So I can even put a voice recording in here still to really explain what the project is talking about. Why it's playing. I'm just recording, and stuff like that. Or I can type in a text and let it appear like a subtitle or something, and stuff. Okay, and after I have done that, then I render out a video and I can put a logo, to it and stuff. Yes. And this concludes the Beam course. So this is what the Beam package is all about. 4 softwares: AutoCAD, where we look at construction drawings; Revit, where we look at the beam itself; Lumion, where we actually look at all this as far as the rendering, and all that is concerned. And of course, Camtasia, where we do post-production as far as, the videos and all that are concerned. Okay, that ends the BIM course. And the BIM course is the foundation to all the other advanced courses, which means before we enroll you or we accept you for any other course, you must have concluded a BIM course. Now, another thing is the advanced courses are strictly for engineers. So we can permit anybody to go in for the BIM course, but for the advanced courses, you must provide us proof that you are a certified civil engineer or about to be certified before we enroll you for the advanced courses. And of course, all these courses are certified courses, which means at the end of the training, you have to undergo an exam, which if you succeed in the exam, you are actually going to be awarded certifications for this course to certify you that no, you're a certified professional in this. And we will not certify you. We will never certify you if you don't actually really deserve it. You have to pass, you have to succeed in the exam at least 80%. At least 80%. So anything 79% is a failure. At least 80% and above, that is how we get to certify you that you are a real professional in this. And our certificates are internationally recognized. We have internationally recognized certifications. So before we want to certify you, we have to make sure that you have actually really undergone the training and you've understood and you can really produce out there. Okay, that sums it up for the BIM course. We have other courses, which are the advanced courses. And I will start with the advanced structural analysis. Now, advanced structural analysis, strictly for engineers, is going to be, we'll be using 2 softwares. We'll use the BIM software, which we just used here. which is still Revit. But now we'll be working mostly with the structural analysis part. You will now see now how you can bring out a project or this same project that you see here, and you analyze it to bring out your result. What do I mean by analyzing? We'll have two softwares that we'll be using here. This and robot structural analysis. This is robot right here. And well, this is a 10-story building project that we're currently working on. So now, why is this so good? You see, a lot of you who are used to using most of this structural analysis software, what you find interesting about Bim here is, or Revit is, it has a link with robot. Now, with just a click of a button, I can send this model exactly as I would design it in robot, and it appears the same way exactly in, rather, as I design it in Revit, it appears the same way in robot by just using a plugin. Now, if I come here under the analysis tab, you see robot structural analysis. Now, imagine how much time that is still saving. For those of you who have been working with structural analysis software, you can bear with me how cumbersome it is when you need to come in here and you have to start designing everything from scratch. You have to start setting up everything, and you are designing everything from your beams to your columns to your slabs to your stairs to everything, and you design it for all these different levels. It's always really cumbersome, and to be honest with you, a lot of people always just assume. So, but with Revit, you design everything in here, which is very easy. And with just a click of a button, the whole project is transferred into Robot, as you see here. And the only thing that you need to do in here now in Robot is just to fill in your load cases, your dead load, your live load. Just bring up some of the symbols. As you can see, it's filling your load cases after calculating your dead load, your live load, and all that. And that is why I say this course is strictly for engineers. Why? Because we are not going to be teaching you how you can, well, we'll still teach you, but you're already supposed to know that how you can calculate all this dead load, live load, wind load, service loads, all those different types of load. You're supposed to already know that from your training as an engineer. Okay? Even though we are still going to teach you that, but we will not be that elaborate. So that is why we say this is an advanced course. So after you do that, boom, you run your analysis and you evaluate your results. As easy as that. Just imagine, and this is going to be 100% accurate because you are sending the exact model that you have designed here into robot. You are not coming here and you start designing from scratch. Maybe coming here you had a curved beam or something circular that you cannot really bring out in robot, and you just assume I put something straight, which I know is what a lot of you do. It's wrong. But now with Revit, you can design anything you want to design in here, and with just a click of a button, you send to robot, apply your loads, set your load cases and all that. You run your analysis, evaluate your results, print out your results, and you're good to go. We teach you how to do all that, okay? And we also have the advanced mechanical, electrical, and plumbing design course, and we are still going to be teaching you that using Revit. Still in Revit that we are going to do that. Now, if you look there in Revit, you have the same systems tab, and this is where we are actually going to be doing that. So, still on the same project that we have already done the architectural and the structural design. Still on the same project, we are going to do the mechanical design in the electrical design, plumbing design in 3 dimensions, very realistic. And all those different components are in such a way that they are all being populated in your estimates, and all that. There is seriously no room for error as far as this is concerned. Okay, and the last but not the least, the advanced interior design course. Now we have other courses that are coming up, but those are the 5 courses that we actually have for now. Now the interior design course, anybody that has completed the Revit training, you must not be an engineer to take the interior design course. You can actually take that. And the softwares that we're going to be using for interior design is Revit still. So you see why you must go through the BIM training. Revit, and then of course we have Sketchup. You can see this is Sketchup. So we're going to be using Revit and then SketchUp. So here you are going to see how you can bring out very good interiors of everything from your living room to your bedrooms to your toilets. So this same project that we are just seeing here will show you how you can export it, bring it in here, and you actually bring out your interior design. And at the end of the day, you bring out very good, realistic looking interiors for your project. And of course, we have some post-production that we'll be doing there by also using softwares like Photoshop, as you can see here. and stuff like that. And of course, for the rendering proper, we'll be using Lumion still. But like I said, like for this project, you see, the only thing that is here is just the exterior design. We have not done the interior. So as far as the interior is concerned, what we have to do now is we have to work on the interior on this project using the same softwares and methods that I'm just um, showing or explaining to you. Okay. By the time we are done, all this project is going to have is interior well designed. For now, they are just empty spaces, and stuff like that. The only thing that you can see in here, if we were to go inside, even up here you can see maybe just the staircase, and stuff like that, but all the other spaces are just different. Yeah, when you are doing your project just for beauty perspective, just for exterior, you don't really have to do a lot as far as the interior is concerned. You can just decide to throw in a little bit of chairs or some light furniture in there just to simulate the idea that maybe it looks like a living environment, and stuff. But as far as detailed interior design is concerned, you have to do it the right way, which is what we actually show as far as the interior design course is concerned. So those are the four courses that five rather. Those are the five courses that we actually have. And now the way that we go through this courses, there are two ways. You can either choose to do the courses online or offline. Well, it's just so unfortunate that offline, if you are not in Cameroon, then we always need a certain number of students before I can displace myself to come to your respective country, wherever that is, to teach you guys. But it is always a crash course, which means if we're organizing something like that, like a physical training. That's what I call offline, a physical training. If you're not taking the course online, if you're taking it offline, which is a physical training, then we are actually going to have to organize that um, separately. And I'm actually going to have to displace myself, but we must have a certain number of students before I come and I teach you guys. But it is going to be a crash session, which means it's a session that we can take just about a week to go through it. You're aspiring to be BIM expert. Let me tell you something. A BIM expert is not somebody that sits and does not have headache. You're thinking all the time. So don't think that you have to spend 1 year to study something to know. It's something that somebody studies for 1 year. You're supposed to spend even an hour and you know it and you know it well. That is what a BIM expert means. So it's a life of headache. It's a life of sacrifice. But of course, it's normal. If you want to do things differently and the right way, that is just the kind of life that you have to accept. Okay? All right. Now for the online training, back to the online training. The courses are already well recorded online. So for those who are not going to be opportune or want to take the training physical and just want to take it online, the only thing you have to do, let me just a minute, let me share this, just let me see. Let me just a minute. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, now this is the full BIM training course. This contains more than 30 hours of recorded material. So this teaches you everything I've been going through, from Autocad to Revit to Lumion to Camtesia. This is more than 30 hours of recorded material here. So if you're interested in taking the training online, what you have to do is you indicate and you'll be added into the training forum. Then you will be sent a link. Of course, you have to go through the payment modalities and all that, which you are going to find out on the site, and stuff. You will be sent that link, and as soon as you do the payment, I don't know, the payment is going to vary with respect to your location, but we are doing a promotion, so it's not expensive, and stuff. You're going to see that there. So when you do that and you are sent the link, then you can have access to all this. So you just go there, you log in, you have access to the full package, which are all the different courses, and you can watch online. You have lifetime access to them, so there's really no problem. You can watch online or you can download and you keep and you watch whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, after going through all this, because you'll still be put in a forum, a WhatsApp forum, and at the end of the day, after you have done this, then you have to write the exam. Now, it is after writing the exam that we're actually going to be sure that you actually understood. And in that forum, I'm going to always be there. So if you are encountering any difficulty, you just drop your question in the forum and I will answer. Again, we always hold occasional Zoom meetings in the forums too to attend to all questions. That is how we handle the course online. Okay. So if you're interested to take the course online, these are all the videos, well-recorded videos, more than 30 hours of lectures, like seriously a lot. You just need to come here, you download, or you watch online, and at the end of the day, you are good to go. But for offline, for those who are in Cameroon, you just come to Yaoundé at the training center and you can be trained there physically if you want physical training and you find yourself in Cameroon. For those who are not in Cameroon and you want physical training, I repeat, the only way that we can do that is we are going to have to, you just indicate and we do the orientation. If we can get a certain number of people that are, or engineers and professionals, this training is not only for engineers or architects, for everybody that is in the field. It can be CEOs in companies, it can be somebody who wants to train all his team, and stuff like that to actually have the skills because these are skills that everybody in the profession, in the construction industry are supposed to have. To be honest with you, it does not mean that you're an architect that you don't have to know something about structural analysis. It does not mean that you're a structural engineer. That doesn't mean you don't have to know architecture, and stuff like that, or something has to do with plumbing or electrical design, or you have to have an idea of all this. That is what BIM is all about, to avoid all these errors, so that when you are bringing out your designs, and all that, you are bringing them out the right way. You are building a project that is going to be void of errors. And that is what we are actually really striving, and struggling to solve as far as the BIM course, is concerned. So, for those who are in Cameroon, I don't know who those who are here in Cameroon. For the online training, like I said, I'll send the link so you can go there and you'll see. So there is a special promotion that we are doing now. The online training is just 150,000 francs. You can convert that to your own currency. It is normally priced at 650, but it's just 150 for the full course for everything being here. It is 150. So when you go to the site, you're going to see that there. And that is just for this batch. When I say this batch, I mean the batch for the month of October. And we always run these promotions because, well, it's back to school and all those kind of things. So we know that our idea really is to train these professionals as much as possible. It's not really about the money, and stuff. Is to train and make sure that this knowledge, is out there. And of course, at the end of the day, you should also have good certifications that you can have to back you up to really show that no, you are really a professional, in this and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that is it. I'm just going to end here. There are other things that I'm going to share with you all. For those who just joined the forum, like a brochure and all that. Just a minute while I bring that up. So if you go there, you are going to find in-depth details. You can also go to our website, www.hiloteconstruction.com, and you go to our courses section. Let me just open that. Just a minute. Let me just open the site. Okay, so you just type hiloteconstruction.com. So, and you just scroll. So this is our website. You just scroll to our courses and you are going to find all the courses that we actually offer here. You can see everything from the BIM course to the structural analysis course to all the other courses, and stuff there. Yeah. So these are all of them. And also in addition to this, I'm going to drop a PDF of this in the forum. That's after this, I'll drop it in the forum. So you can also download that PDF and you can get good in-depth details of what the BIM course, is all about, or all the different courses are all about. So, all right. So when you do that and you are interested in any of the courses, send me a private message or you just send me a message. My number is in the WhatsApp forum. The current WhatsApp forum that you are there, that's the general forum. My number is there. Send me a message there, and you are going to be added in the main training forum in your respective for the respective course that you want to take, and then you will send a link to actually download the course. Okay, I'm going to stop here, and I take some questions. I'm sure we should have some questions. Just a minute while I let's see. Okay, so let's get some questions, please. So please, you just ask when I call your name, you just unmute your mic. Oh, let's just have it in yeah, you can unmute your mic now. Let's start with there are some people here without names. Um yes, if you have any question, you can just unmute your mic now and you ask. So unmute your mic, just introduce yourself, where you are very briefly, and then your reason for taking the course, then you ask the question. Let's start with I don't know, Ali's phone. Is that the name of somebody? Ali's phone. You can unmute yourself. Okay, if Ali is not responsive, let's go to Alize. Please, if you can't still unmute your mic, I think I've turned off the permission. If you can't unmute, just indicate in the chat. You can't unmute? Okay. Okay, I think you can unmute now. It's still not possible. Okay, try now. Oh, okay, I think it's possible now. All right, you can unmute your mic now. Yes, Ali, what's your question? Okay, please, Ali is not responsive. Let's go to Engineer Enzemoba. Enzemoba. Please, and we'll take just 5 questions. So, anybody, I think you can unmute your mic now. Just unmute and you ask the question. Or if there's no question, then you just say no, 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 no.
Someone raising up his hand is mobile. You can consider that person as well.
Okay, Enzemoba, can you unmute your mic? Enzemoba seems to be having difficulties. Okay, yes, Dauda.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Dauda.
Yeah, I'm Ralph, speaking from Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, can one take all the courses at the time?
No.
I mean, all the 5 courses at the time.
You must start with the Bim course.
You start with the BIM course.
Yes, it depends on your performance in the Bim course that we are going to know if you can proceed to the other course.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks. I think I have to start with the BIM course too.
Yes, like I've explained,
Yeah.
the Bim course is the foundation to all the other courses. So you must perform well
Okay.
in the Bim course
Okay.
before we go to the other courses. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. I think I'll do it online.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Any other question from anybody? Anyone else? Okay, while we're doing that, let me just share my screen so I show you our Facebook page too. We always share good tips and tutorials there too. So I will appreciate if all of you go there, make sure you give us a follow, and so that you can also get to follow up with everything that we do there. Just a minute, where I share that. Okay, here we go. You can see the screen. So Hilote Construction Company, that's our Facebook page. So yeah, you can go there, you see some of the stuff that we do project wise. You can even meet the team, you can get some free tutorials, from me and stuff. That's me talking, and all that. You can see all that. We had the recent graduation of the just this year, the 2024 batch of the BIM program that was just a couple 2 months back, I think. Yes, and to be honest with you all, I've been doing this training for almost 10 years now, and I have graduated just 50 students out of thousands of students that have come my way. That shows you all how the course is. So it is a journey that you have to take very serious, eh? It's not a thing that is for the weak. Seriously. So, if you know that you are really ready to really make a change, that was me speaking at the graduation ceremony. If you know you're really willing to make a change, yes, this was some of the graduating students and stuff. You can actually see all that there. Just go to our Facebook page. I think that was the best student. Yeah, just go to our Facebook page and you'll see all that there. And don't forget to give us a follow, and maybe why not even give us a review and stuff. Okay. So, for those that were having problems joining, like maybe, I don't know, network issues and all that, a recording of this session is going to be shared after this. And how can we join the WhatsApp platform, sir? Thank you for the. Okay, no, for you to join the WhatsApp forum, like I've said, the WhatsApp forum is only for those that are taking the course. Now, the general forum that you're there, I'm not saying if you're not taking the course, you leave. No, don't leave, because of course we always share all the information and everything and tutorials, like very good tutorials. Like our mission out here is really just to orientate everybody that is in this field to do things the right way. You understand? We know that some people contact us to go and prepare themselves, and stuff like that before they come. We know that some people come and, so we are there for everybody. So just stay in the forum, even if you are not taking the course now, like maybe you have plans of taking it later and stuff like that. There is very good information that we always share in the forum. Like when we bring out some good tutorials, and stuff like that, we always put the link there first. So you can actually always be the first people to, benefit from it and stuff. So if you are going to take the course, you just have to indicate. My number is in the forum. I'm going to drop it here again. Let me just drop it here in the chat. So you can send me a private WhatsApp message, but you'll see the same number. I'm the main admin in the forum. There's the number. Yeah, there's the number. So you can send me a message on WhatsApp if you're interested to actually take the course, starting with the BIM course, of course. And you'll be sent the link. So you'll be sent the link to the course as I explained earlier. And as soon as you get the course and we get a notification, you are going to be added in the forum and we take it from there. Like I said, in that forum, I personally always supervise the WhatsApp forum. I supervise it personally. And the forum is there to follow up and make sure that you're actually following up with the course, and also to answer all your questions and, of course, prepare you for the exams and stuff like that. Yeah. So that is the reason of the forum. So for you to get into the forum, you just have to get the course, and of course, you are going to be added to the forum. Yes, so that is how you get into the forum. And for all those who are going in for the BIM course, if you're an engineer, no, you also qualify for the advanced courses. But even if you are not an engineer and you are going in for the BIM course, you can still do the interior design course after that, but you will not be able to do the other courses because structural analysis, mechanical design, electrical design, plumbing design, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, those are stuffs that seriously you have to be an engineer before you really understand the concepts. Yeah, there's really no way we can do about that. We can't certify someone who is not an engineer in that domain. You will not even be able to follow the course. Yes, you will not be able to follow because there are certain concepts that you will not just understand. You must have gone through the training of at least an engineer in the university before you can understand those advanced concepts, without which it's really going to be a kind of a problem for you and stuff. So that is why we keep those other courses strictly for engineers. But for the general public, the reason we are keeping the BIM course for everybody, as long as you have site experience, there's somebody that has been going to the site, you have good site experience, field experience, and stuff. And of course, you have a computer or a laptop and access to internet connection, and stuff like that. Oh, one more thing. All those who are taking the course, we actually help you to get the softwares too. Okay. Yes. So all those who are actually taking the course, we help you to get the softwares because that's another thing too. We help you to get the softwares that you're actually going to be using, that you use for the course and stuff like that. Yes. So, the BIM course is for everybody. We want everybody to get this knowledge so they are able to work well in the field. Okay. But then the advanced courses are strictly for engineers. Michael, I see your hand is raised.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good
I'm
evening.
Michael speaking from Ghana.
Okay, Michael.
Okay, so I remember you made mention that your course needed a pass mark of 80%.
Yes.
Yes. So I want to know if the course is providing a skills and necessary tools for the construction and engineering industry, or it's an accredited, you mean what I mean? Accredited courses or international recognized course that we need to offer. Because, for instance, you see, I'm in Ghana right now,
Yes.
and you are based in Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can put my resources in, offer the course, and pass everything. You give me your certificate, and it may not be recognized in Ghana here or in other countries. So I just want to be clear on that issue.
No, our courses, like I've said, the certifications are recognized internationally. We are accredited with the CPD, that's Continuous Professional Development. Yes,
CPD.
CPD,
Okay.
yes. Continuous Professional Development is a body that satisfies professionals all over the world. I have my students that have finished there in the US, they're in the UK, and stuff like that, and they are actually putting in the skills that they have learned here. So,
Okay.
CPD is a body that certifies professionals all over. I don't think there's anybody or there's any country that will not recognize a certificate that is coming from CPD, and stuff like that. Yeah, so what you should worry yourself instead is putting in the effort to get it and not whether it is going to be recognized or not.
Yeah. I think at least you have to know a little background on what you are involving yourself to before.
Yes.
Yeah. Though the skills is very needful and necessary.
Yeah.
But after that, what's next? I
But
hope
then
you get what
again,
I mean.
there's also one more thing now. I always say this. I don't always take my time to train you guys to go and be working for somebody. I believe with the skills that you're learning from here, you can be an entrepreneur on your own without really an issue. But again, it all depends on the individual. Yes, because I believe with what we teach and stuff, it is more than enough for you to really be an entrepreneur on your own. You understand what I'm saying? Yes,
Yeah, I
and
do.
you're sure that at least you are doing things the right way. Yes,
All right.
you are doing things the right way. So our vision is to make sure we've already done a very great job as far as that is concerned here in Cameroon. So that is why we are incorporating it now also in other countries, and stuff like that. And again, for those who will be interested in the physical training, I repeat, it is still possible, but we have to actually have a certain number of students before I can displace myself, and stuff. Yes, to come for that. Yes, because the reason that we have online, first of all, is because of location basis, because we train all over the world. But in cases where you have some students that still needs the physical stuff. We can't also neglect that. So yes, we also have that. And but it all depends on the number of students. Yeah, and stuff. Okay, Michael, any other question?
No, please. I'm fine.
All right. Any other question from anybody? Okay, if there's no question, don't forget to leave us a review and a like on our Facebook page. And also, after this, the general forum will be open. So please just leave an honest review of what you think the BIM course is all about and how you think it can impact you, and stuff like that. I mean, the general WhatsApp forum that is also going to be open after this, just briefly for about 3 hours. And the reason we always log the forum up is because a lot of people just come in there from different domains and stuff, and sometimes they come and they start posting and doing things that are not really related to the field and stuff like that. So that is why we always lock up the forum and stuff, and we just open it only occasionally uh, for such occasions and stuff. So you people should not think that because you are in there and the forum is locked, no, that's just the reason. If you send me a message, my number is there. Send me a message at any time. I'm going to respond to you. Okay, that was it for today. Thank you all for joining, and I hope to see you all to take the BIM training and start implementing these skills. Okay? If you have any question, you can get to me personally or privately on WhatsApp. And yes, of course, I'm going to attend to it. And for those who are going to be going into the course, just indicate after this, and I send you the link so you can get the course and you get down to studying. All right. Thank you all once more, and see you all in our next session. Good night to everybody.
To
Good night.